Welcome to HFR, Habs Fan Reaction. Talking Habs season ending post-mortem of the 2022 NHL season.
Oh, Ray. The Habs had such a horrible season this year, especially at the beginning. Even though we get the big prize at the end, it was just so hard to do, and it was brutal all year. But you know what? You were there all season, and you were a good girl, Ray. You want a treat? You were a good girl. Here you go. Because this is impossible. I can't follow anything. They call me Junior? I can't believe they did that. I can't. What's wrong with that guy? And I don't know that. I don't know. I'm not convinced Savard is that bad. Are you kidding me? And that ref is blind.
Today's video is brought to you by NHL Pricks Sports Betting. 19 years and over. Please bet responsibly. NHL Pricks. Give us your money. This is going to hurt, folks. This is going to hurt. Hey, everybody. I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. Oh, I didn't think I'd get a click there. Where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. All right, so it's time for the season-ending breakdown of the Montreal Canadiens' great 2022 campaign. I'm going to talk about what went wrong. We'll talk about what went right. Nothing went right till the end of the season, though. I mean, really, right? Just crazy season. And
but listen, I hope so. I hope they win. Got to see a win. They got to win every now and then. They're going to win some games here and there. I don't know who that was, but who was that? Yeah, it's Dauphin. Yeah, he tries to shove it into the 5-hole, but there's no 5-hole there for you. No 5-hole for you. Crosby gets tripped again. Oh, my God. That wasn't a call. That was soft. Oh, damn it. They lost again. No, of course they lost again.
We got to kind of go to the offseason of last year. If you actually go back to the postseason last year, Montreal Canadiens doing great, right? We had that awesome win over Toronto Maple Leafs, 7 games. It was 3-1. The Habs go on to sweep the Winnipeg Jets. They go on to face the Vegas Golden Knights and take them out in 6. And then they come up against the wall that is the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they couldn't do much against Tampa Bay Lightning, and they lose in 5. But there's a lot of hope for the season coming up after that. Good offseason, some new signings. There's a lot of hope going into next season. And then it kind of all got sidetracked with the discovery of Shea Weber won't be back. Probably retiring at that point. We didn't know any more than that. Carey Price facing off-season knee surgery. Possibility of him not being ready for the start of the next season. Players not returning. Phil Deneau not re-signing with Montreal. Players that they re-signed, they signed in the offseason, like Mike Hoffman. Mike Hoffman signs with Montreal, decides to go and get hurt just before he comes to town to start. And he doesn't, he misses the first number of games. I don't remember exactly how many. Joel Edmondson as well, for various reasons, injury and personal family reasons. And it was just so much hope, and the air went out of the balloon so fast at the beginning of the season. It's just brutal. I mean, just brutal. And so all that hope from the previous season, and the Habs just didn't live up to it. The preseason games, I mean, okay, they're preseason games, not so bad preseason games. You don't have to look too much at those, and they don't mean that much. Let's put it that way. They don't mean that much. Whether we win, lose, whatever, it doesn't mean that much. And then, but we were still having high hopes. The new signings, Savard. I think pretty much that's it. I don't remember anybody else being a big signing that we were looking forward to, other than Hoffman, who was injured and wasn't there. And it didn't start out well. did not start out well. It was kind of brutal. Just kind of brutal. It was just kind of brutal how it started out, man. You know, like, oh my God. Then COVID. So in a year, you know, the year before the bubble season, like the previous 2 seasons, even, right? COVID, it just was so influential on what happened during the season that we figured, okay, this year it's going to be good. It's going to be good. We're going to be fine. And we went along okay at the beginning. It wasn't really the beginning of the season. It wasn't the reason why we sucked so bad. But then COVID hit. We had a heavy COVID outbreak. At some point, 2 different points, there were 10 game shutdowns. Nearly every player, like every day. Oh, this player, that player, or these 5 guys. It was just somebody had COVID new on the team. With Armia getting it like 3 times. They're like, Armia, like, who are you hanging out with? Like, maybe you should just stay home sometimes.
The dopes at Dops. They are, however, considering suspending Devo for his vicious hit to Spurgeon's shoulder with his face. So, the dopes at Dops. They're a bunch of incompetent slobs. I don't know how they keep their jobs. Not one of them knows what an illegal hit is. They're all ex-NHL goons and they're big hypocrites. Gary Bettman's their boss. What can you expect? The dopes at Dops.
This segment has been brought to you by Choke Cola, the official soft drink of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Choke Cola. Better watch how you swallow. It was just brutal. I mean, it was just brutal what happened with everybody. The only person that didn't get it was, I think, Nick Suzuki. Like, literally, I think the only player didn't get COVID on the team was Nick Suzuki. Might have been the only player that played every game. It was crazy. So with all these shutdowns and all the stuff, and then in Canada couldn't have fans in the stands, the NHL said, oh, guess what, you boys, you're not going to play at home for a while until we can have fans there. So go on the road for 15 games. Just go on the road. It's easy. Don't worry about it. And that was brutal. I mean, did they win any games on the road? I don't know. I don't know if they did. Anyway, and it turns out that they came back and they still had to play games in front of no fans for a little while until the fans could come back. It wasn't that long, but still. And I don't know, just like everything went against Montreal. There was no point at all that we put together 2-game streak. I don't think the 2-game streak happened till really late in the season. So it was just an up and down, up and down, up and. I want to go like that. It's kind of up and down like that. That's what it was about, really. All right, and then the injuries we thought we had injuries like off season that were brutal with Weber and Price. Then the injuries during the season, every game. Okay, every game, my pregame show. Okay, I'll guess good news. This guy's coming back. That guy's coming back. Oh, guess what though? Like, these 5 guys are out. This one's injured. He's out 3 weeks. That one, oh yeah, out 3 weeks. Anderson, this guy, like, it was crazy every single game. There was a new injury, new COVID, something. I've never seen a season like that. What did we lose? 700 man games to injury, something like that? It's crazy. Just absolutely crazy. And then Jeff Petrie. Jeff Petrie, the most solid defenseman, the steadiest defenseman, point producer we have on this team. Jeff Petrie decides, guess what, guys? Hold my beer. I ain't playing. I'll be on the ice with you guys, but I mean, don't expect much from me. And he didn't. He played like shit. I mean, literally. I don't think he woke up till after the coaching change. Like, that's how bad he played. 2 points in his first 20 games. Crazy. That wasn't just Jeff Petrie either. I mean, our new players we got. They were brutal. I don't know if I can do. I got to talk now about the coach, Dominic Ducharme. His system was too complicated. I don't know how they played in the playoffs the year before. Did they just shut the coach out and they say, "Listen, we know how to play. Don't listen to this guy." And then that didn't work during the season. Like his system was too complicated. Here's how I understand the system. If player A makes a mistake, no, let's go. If player A does his job, then player B knows exactly what to do and where to be. And then player A is going to be in the right place for the pass. Player B is going to score the goal, and everybody's going to be happy, and they're going to hug and kiss at the end of the. Okay. If player B makes a mistake, then player A don't know what the hell to do. Should I run around the rink? Should I pass to the boards because nobody's there? I don't know what to do. I lost my mind because player A didn't know what to do. It's what it was like. The system was complicated. Player A does this, player B does that, player C does this, player D does that, player A is over here, player B is here, player D is over there, X, Y, Z. It's what it was like. Players didn't like it, and they looked like it was obvious out there. There was no defense. They ran around like Keystone Cops. It was brutal. It was brutal. It was brutal to watch. It was brutal to try to make heads or tail of what's going out on the ice. Got to the point we weren't even halfway through the season. And I didn't know how the hell we're going to make it through the rest of the year. Are you kidding me? How?
So they get the early lead. There's a chance for them to win only because they have only done it maybe once when they were scored against first. So they scored first. The sky's the limit tonight. 35-19 now are the shots on goal for favor of Minnesota. A 7-2 game so far. 8-2. Oh my God, another one. Here we go. Boom, scored. No. There's the goal. 4:40 left in this game. 8 goals on 38 shots. Not great. Oh, there is a fight. Christ, 10 seconds left. They couldn't just let the time run out. Game over. Thank God is right. Oh, boy. That's it. I'm happy that's over.
Oh, my God. Now, these were all due to Mark Bergevin's failures that caught up with the team that we didn't really know about. Some we didn't really know about. We didn't realize. We're still being run like an old school team. We weren't moving in the progressive direction that, the team is kind of going in right now. Poor off-season acquisitions by Bergevin. Usually I like his acquisitions in the offseason. My God, this past offseason, David Savard, sure, won a Stanley Cup with Tampa, experienced defenseman, got him at a good price. Maybe not so much as a good term, but brutal. And I say this word a lot, I guess, but brutal. They were expecting Savard to replace the physicality of Shea Weber. I'm at a loss for words. Did he hit anybody in the first few weeks that he played? I don't think so. He couldn't touch Matthew Perreault. One good game. He did have one good game. He had a hat trick. Awesome. Where was he the rest of the season? Cedric Paquette. Who? Personally, I think these guys were signed for one reason only, in their last names. That's why they were signed. He couldn't find anybody, or he couldn't. I don't know what happened, but these guys, they got French last names. Everyone's gonna love them. The team had no development plans for the young players they brought in. No development team, no development coach, no development nothing. And for a long time, they didn't have the head coach of the development team, the Rocket. They didn't even have a coach there that could do anything. It's just brutal. Team was run too old school. I didn't know any better personally. It was kind of made obvious when they brought in new management, but too much responsibility on the GM, and he kept his cards so close to his chest. The problem was the cards he thought he had a full house, but what he had was like 3 2s and they left the jokers in the deck, and he had both. He thought, oh, I got a full house. He had nothing. He had a house of cards and too much responsibility on the gym, not spread around enough. So the owner finally made the change. So what was good about the season? The owner finally made the change, fired Marc Bergevin, and brought in Jeff Gordon formerly of the New York Rangers, of Boston Bruins, a GM that's known to be able to rebuild a team. Now, he wasn't brought in as GM. We know that. He's the executive vice president of hockey operations. And Jeff Gordon, in turn, brought us Kent Hughes as the GM. And then the rebuild started. The rebuild, whatever I wrote here, whatever the F and hell you want to call it, started. And they're going to try to turn this team around. They've got a development coach. They're going to have a development team. They've got all kinds of, like, they're modernizing this team, and it's about time. So these are good things. And it kind of started to offset a little bit of the bad stuff that we had to endure. But we still had Coach Dominique Ducharme. I can't watch a team coached by Dominique Ducharme, not for another second. And it's a good thing that they hired Coach Marty St. Louis, because I couldn't take Coach Dom Ducharme. I don't think I could take him another second. And I had like 30 plus games to go. So they bring in Marty St. Louis. And like the difference is immediate. Suddenly Caulfield scores. He scores a goal. I think it was like the first game with Marty St. Louis. And that just scores one goal, and it doubles his output of one goal under Dominique Ducharme this past season. In 30 games under Dominique Ducharme, he scored one goal. Oh my God. It was brutal. Now, the difference here is he continues to score. So this is good, finally. The sun has come out. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow.
Yeah, you think we could get McDavid for Sherratt? What do you think? Let's get Sherratt's really good. He's one of the top defensemen in the league, so we should get McDavid, man. Your name is Drew P. Dick, but I'm being a dick. There's a difference. It's crazy night here on Talking Habs, like every other night. Looks like he's going to pee. He left his gloves back there and he ran. I think he was going to pee. 2-1 for St. Louis. Scores! Caulfield ties it up. We're going overtime. Caulfield ties it up. Wow. Petrie scores! Petrie to Caulfield. Win! I called it. Cole Caulfield with the winner. That ends the 10-game winless streak. They will not set a new record.
There's chemistry between Cole and Nick. Praise the Lord, there's chemistry. How did Ducharme not get this out of them? I don't know. And listen, the good things continue to happen. Trade deadline approaches. Make a good trade for Tyler Toffoli. It was sad to lose Tyler Toffoli. Made a good trade for him, though. First round pick, a prospect, and I think a fourth round pick, something like that as well. If not, it was a first round pick and a prospect. A good trade. Then they make a couple of good, more good trades. They move Ben Sherratt. They move Arturi Lehkonen. And in moving Arturi Lehkonen, you bring in like a really solid defensive prospect to go along with the ones that are already in the pipeline. We get Justin Barron. That was a really good thing. Subsequently, say the word 10 times, Jordan Harris signs. And there was controversy that whether Harris signed because of the change in management, and maybe that's why he was holding out. He says no. He says his plan was to do exactly what he did and then sign with Montreal. But suddenly we're headed in the right direction. And I wrote down here the opposite of hell. I was going to say we're headed in the right direction, the opposite of digging down to China. But yeah, I mean, the team's headed in the right direction. Things look good, and now you can do the games. It was getting a little bit better. Team starts to win. Then we get from the peanut gallery, oh no, we won't finish in last. But we did. We did finish in last. No worse than third overall pick going into the draft lottery. And then the Habs cash in. And they get that first pick. People saying Habs can't win. Habs can't win first pick. It's rigged. It's rigged against Canadian teams. Bettman is evil. Now, this is true. Bettman is evil. That statement, definitely. Whether it's rigged or not, I mean, I don't know. But we did win. And we did get first pick. So now the question is, who will it be? And you know, the funny thing there is that you think, you know, most of the season, and it was Shane Wright, and let's tank for Shane Wright. Let's get Shane Wright. And then we get the first overall pick. And now there's controversy about whether Shane Wright is the first pick or not, whether he's worthy of it or not. So I think it's funny. Doesn't matter where we get. There's always going to be controversy. So the season, after all, ends all right. No pun intended, or maybe pun intended. And my beloved Habs get first pick in the draft. And this is the best part of all, because this literally, in a season that was frustrating, that was hard to watch, then got pretty good, you know, at least was okay to watch. This might be the best thing that happened. And that's that the Toronto Maple Leafs got tossed in the first round of the playoffs. And you know what? Suddenly, life is good because they got tossed in the first round 5 years in a row. And Montreal, who had a brutal season, gets the big prize at the end of the season. And it pays off a little bit. So, what's that saying? Good things come to those who wait. Should be for us, good things come to those who suffer, because we kind of did. So that's how the season ended with Montreal. I guess the season's not over yet till the draft, but with Montreal securing the first pick in the draft. And let's see what we do with it, and let's see how this propels Montreal forward.
I know everybody was panicked that he wasn't starting against the Rangers and that they said he was going to see his doctor. But it turns out it was nothing to worry about. So I imagine just because they were in New York, it's like, well, I'm here. Maybe he should just take a look, see what's going on. And that's probably what it was. So, but there's a lot of panicking about Price. People figuring Price's career is over. He'll never play again, you know, blah, blah, blah. But it's not that. Even though some of the games were tough. But once Marty St. Louis took over, I mean, that changed. It became a lot easier to come and do the games. That's for sure. I do the job. I get the info that's out there for all these little things. See?
And just as I'm back, it's 7-1 Montreal, Jake Evans. Hat-trick goal for Cole Caulfield.
Wow, he got it. All right.
First career NHL hat-trick for Cole Caulfield.
A hattie in his rookie season.
Here come the Hats. They're raining down on the Bell Center ice tonight.
23rd goal over Caulfield. Not a bad way to end the season.
Score! It's 10-1.
Hey, Guru, thank you so much. Some Habs Guru hype and some Dono hype here.
Absolutely.
Thanks to you and Matt for the streams and uploads between games this season. Always looking forward to seeing them. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. That's really nice of you. It's been a tough season, I got to tell you. But my pleasure to have been here all season.
And that's it. Thank you to everyone who watched the channel this season. I really appreciate it. It wasn't easy to get through like a good part of it, but then it was. You know, it wasn't easy, and then all of a sudden it was. Hiring Marty St. Louis out of the ranks of the Pee Wee leagues. So it's a light at the end of the tunnel. In this long, dark tunnel. So let's kill it at the draft. I hope Montreal does that. They make the right choice. Even if it's not Shane Wright, just make the right one. No pun intended. If you're not going to pick Shane, make sure that the guy you do pick is the best player in the draft. I'll be around all off season with videos and live streams. Check out our website at talking-habs.com. There'll be videos there. You can watch the videos there and the live streams there. And there'll be all kinds of other things. Check that out. And that's it. Stay safe, please. Peace out, y'all. Thanks for being part of Talking Habs all season. A brutal 2022 season, but we got the big prize at the end, and it paid off. And that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go Habs, go. Bye, y'all. Ciao.